The whole experience at times feels really surreal. I think, oh, did that happen? But then I have flashbacks of the hospital, and I just think, oh my God, I'm so lucky that, that I got through that.
Paul Gouger is finally well enough to head outside in New York City. But the 54-year-old from Adelaide, who 7:30 first met in mid-April, knows how close he came to becoming another COVID-19 statistic.
You just realise, oh my God, this could be it. Am I gonna wake up?
They're very honest. They just said you may not come out of this, so that was a bit of a shock. But I suppose I'm one of the lucky ones, because here in New York it was a 20% chance of survival if you were on a ventilator.
So after being here for 12 days, I think now, and being incubated for 4 days, being in ICU, I've beaten it.
5 months post-diagnosis, Paul may have beaten the virus, but he's still dealing with its impact on his body.
A lot of tingling sort of sensations down my back, along your sort of sensory sort of nervous system. So that was weird, but the doctors said that was like an after effect of the virus. I also couldn't talk very well, so I had, because when the ventilator goes down, it's going past the vocal cords. So we think it clipped one of my left vocal cord.
And how about now? How close to normal do you feel your voice is?
I feel good. Occasionally I'll feel like there's still something there, and I suppose...
Paul's been having speech therapy to help his voice recover and hopes he's over the worst of his COVID-19 experience.
Team effort.
Now I feel great. I feel really good. You do get what I call a bit of like COVID brain, so occasionally I think it's a bit of memory. I don't know if it's memory loss or it takes me and I think, okay, what was that? But that could just be getting old age, but who knows?
It's been 4 months since Ursula Steinberner and Leon Sharp tested positive for coronavirus.
I suffered with breathlessness. I couldn't walk around the block for a long time. Now we're doing 4 and 5 Ks
a morning, yeah.
The Port Augusta couple first told 7:30 their story in May, 2 months after they contracted the virus on board the Ruby Princess. Ursula was in intensive care for 10 days.
Yeah, it was. It was very emotional because I didn't think she'd be coming home.
When I reflect on it, I think I'm one of the lucky ones. Definitely.
They say the experience has made them rethink their approach to life.
And I'm living life now to the fullest. Went out and bought myself a new car. And I've always wanted this car, and I went out and bought it.
Although they're now feeling well, recovery was slow. And in recent weeks, Ursula has noticed what she's been told could be a knock-on effect from the virus.
When I first noticed that my hair was thinning was I was cleaning the bathroom and seeing all these little bits of red hair all over the place. And I thought, well, that's not Leon's. So I checked my hairbrush, give it a clean, and there was a heap of it in there. I went to a hairdresser and she put me in touch with a trichologist, which is somebody that specialises in thinning hair, and he basically said he thinks it's caused through the trauma.
There's some common symptoms, and then there's a variety of other symptoms that can affect any part of the body, really.
Associate Professor Gail Matthews is co-leading a study following COVID-19 patients. Along with fatigue, breathlessness and brain fog, they're seeing a range of other symptoms, including hair loss.
The sudden loss of hair can happen in response to a number of stresses, and that's well recognised medically. So people have been severely unwell, people who've had a very high temperature, people who've had severe stress in their lives. It's very possible that COVID triggered something that may have caused down the tracks hair loss for some people. I think what we don't know yet is how common that is.
Just walking around the Stephansdom and am Graben, you wouldn't realise that there's a pandemic going on with all of the people that are out. But
it is a long road, not only physically for me. I think the effects of what I experienced, I'm still going through now. I mean, I'm still tired. My body still feels run down, and that's not to be underplayed. It's for everybody, it's very different.
This is my bedroom.
Australian opera singer Pascal Harrington first spoke to 7:30 back in March, soon after he contracted the virus at a performance in Germany.
If I have more breathing problems, then I'll have to go to hospital. But
the virus triggered pneumonia, and that cough persists.
I'm hyper aware of what's happening, particularly in my lungs, in my throat, and all these sorts of things. And that's all areas that are affected by this. I gave myself a lot of time starting back into singing, and that was very, very slow.
It's also been tough mentally for Pascal. He's a long way from home and doesn't know when performances will resume.
For me, it's just been a process of step by step by step building up and not losing hope, in a sense that it is frustrating because there are things that you can't do now that I could do before. And you have to be gentle to yourself in that respect, because you've got to remember there's a lot you've been through.
The thing is to realise that it's not just an acute illness and that there may be some long-term consequences for people, and that's important. We study that, and we give people the support and recognise their stories about what they are experiencing, because we're all learning in this together. We don't have all the answers.
I think it definitely has changed my outlook on life and on my career going forward, particularly. I think everybody in this time has done a lot of soul searching in terms of what their work means to them and what their loved ones mean to them.
Despite experiencing the horrors of the virus, Ursula and Leon remain positive and can't wait to get back on the high seas.
I'd do it again.
Yeah.
We had, honestly, for the 10 days we were on there, we had a ball. We did everything.
It was fantastic. And as soon as they start up again, we're booking. We're going to do another one. Every day's a bonus.
You know, grab it by both hands and run with it.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 7:30's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.